the first room on the left, you walk in the door through a mouth doorway where there are teeth and gums and lips lining this doorway, almost like you're going to like a circus room. And when you walk in, you see a small mouse. The mouse is only half of a centimeter tall. The mouse is wearing a pink shirt, and it's carrying a piece of white cauliflower. It's wearing a Papa Smurf hat, and it has red hair. There's also a little halo shining around its head, and it's walking on a cobblestone road. There's a little box with a knife in it, and there is a apple core made out of connective tissue that's providing vasculature to the keratinized or white piece of cauliflower. So this is squamous, a square mouse, epithelial papilloma, so squamous papilloma, wearing a Papa Smurf hat, squamous papilloma. The angel halo means it's never malignant. It can be pink or it can be white. If it's white, it's keratinized. If it's pink, it's not. It can be up to 0.5 centimeters. Treatment is excision, and it has a connective tissue core that provides the vasculature to the lesion. This is squamous papilloma. This is the first room. You go out of that room, and the next room down on the left is Verrucas vulgaris. Veruca is the little girl from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory who was obnoxious and always throwing a fit. Here we see her in 4 different forms: as a 2-year-old, 4-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 40-year-old. In all cases, she has red hair, so it presents on the gingiva. She's wearing a pink dress. It could be a pink lesion. And she is sucking her thumb at all of those ages. There are coils all over the floor in this room. The pink dress means that it's a pink notic cell. The coils are coilocytes. The red hair is gingiva. There's also ants on the floor at the front of the room. This is going to present at the anterior borders of the mouth, gingiva, tongue. There is also a little box at the front by these ants, as well as a spilled box of raisins. The box with the knife in it is to represent excision, and the ants, or the raisins, are to represent the raisin-looking nuclei histologically. In the background there is a ridge with a little road that goes up in the distance to this ridge. This is to represent the reedy ridges. And on this reedy ridges there are grain silos that you can see in the distance. And these grain silos represent a prominent granular appearance. And that is everything in that room. You go to the next room on the left, and it is actually a prison. There is a seat outside where you can dial in to talk to the con. We are talking about condyloma acuminata. There's a security guard outside who's guarding the knives. We won't let the knives inside the prison, but there is a knife outside as well to represent excision. The girl that has called in to this con, the con is quickly, there's other cons that accumulate or coalesce around this other one very quickly because they're excited that he's talking to this girl. The girl is there for a conjugal visit. She wants to have sex with him, specifically oral sex is how it's spread. he is in a part of the prison. There's coils all over the floor, and this is a low surveillance, low punishment part of the prison. He is only supposed to serve for 2, 6, or 11 years. Behind that part, there's another section with people that are serving 16 to 18 years for more grievous offenses. These are predispose you, HPV 16 and 17, predispose you to oral cancer, or cervical cancer, and the inmates may have HIV, which a lowered immune system is going to predispose you to a condyloma acuminata. So back down the hall towards the beginning, across the hall from the squamous papilloma, we have an entrance into this room. You have to go through a very cold igloo. As you come through the igloo, there are stacks and stacks of increased layers of cans. We have acantholysis. After that, you have to step over layers of spines. So we've got acanthosis, which is increasing the stratum spinosum epithelium. There is a 13-year-old chief that is quarantined in the middle of this room. It's cold, and so there's a gigantic magnifying glass that is shining light down to keep this little chief warm. The quarantine is to represent that this is very contagious. It's the 13-year-old and 32-year-old, or it's 13, HPV 13 and 32 are associated with this. So it's a 13-year-old chief. Perhaps she's sad sitting here because her 32-year-old father died and now she has to be the chief. It is also called focal epithelial hyperplasia, I believe.